A lot of failures and funny situations happen on television. Therefore, choosing the profession of a journalist, you should be prepared for the fact that ridiculous, dangerous, or curious situations will be inevitable. In this episode, we will show you a selection of the most ridiculous moments that happened on air. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel to not miss our next episodes. The president of Costa Rica, Luis Guillermo Solis, rather coolly dealt with a wasp that prevented him from communicating with the media. There is always a person on the team who is constantly late, and the journalist is absolutely not embarrassed that this is a live broadcast. The guy just wanted to help, but instead, he found himself in an awkward position. Love for animals is wonderful, however, you need to know the limit. This girl seems to love them too much. Who will listen to the words of a woman when you can watch a real talent with her hot dance in the background? It's hard to believe in the seriousness of the situation that has developed due to unique weather events. As you can see, these young people are having fun in the background and definitely do not feel the cold. As a result of a technical error, people were able to see a tired reporter waiting for her episode. I am curious if the TV presenter chose such a look, or if the length of the skirt was approved by the producers for the sake of raising ratings. This news anchor was not reminded that the break had come to an end. As a result, she had to hide her lunch already in the air. There will always be a friend who can ruin the photo. In this case, it is unlikely that this girl is a friend of a journalist, but she definitely managed to become popular. She had to walk knee-deep in the water while a passing car gave her and the operator an improvised shower. Most likely, she expected something similar when she realized that she would be interviewing players. The spirit of victory did not take her by surprise at all. When you decided to annoy the journalist but did not take into account that your act would be seen by millions.
Mojim dragim koleginicama, Olja, kako počinje nova radna nedelja u glavnom gradu i koje servisne informacije treba da znamo?
Našim gledalcima, evo ovo prvo uključenje iz centra Beograda, govorimo o delimično završenim i planiranim radovima koji se tiču, evo ovo se dešava u programu uživo, nema veze, ni nastavimo našu priču, koji se tiču ulepšavanja grada.
The reporter was so happy that he was finally shooting the story in a picturesque place on the sea that he got excited and fell off a jet ski. Sabrage is a spectacular yet rather dangerous trick, but without a certain skill, there is a risk of getting wet or even injured. This magician in the background knows perfectly well how to attract attention. It's one thing when a pretty girl licks you, but when an adult man does it, it's too much. Dolphins are amazing creatures. They can communicate with people and build relationships with them. This marine animal fulfills all the requests of the presenter. His iron shirt didn't stand a chance. However, it is unlikely that he expected to stay in clean clothes, especially when filming a report from such a festival. This guy spent many hours on the construction of this tower, but as soon as this reporter was near, everything turned out to be in vain. The reporter was faced with the fact that he had not just to talk about the flood being in its epicenter, but also to help an elderly person in trouble. Such makeup would be perfect for a Halloween party, but the audience of the TV channel hardly appreciated it. This journalist got slightly wet after she was covered by a huge wave, but in this situation, I still feel more sorry for the equipment. Two girls unexpectedly joined the weather forecast presenter. Maybe it's a birthday present from Hugh Hefner. It is unlikely that the girl in the background would like to get on TV like that. Well, at least there were caring people nearby who came to the rescue. Reporters encounter all kinds of people and situations. Working with people is already difficult, especially when you have to deal with someone like this.
To be honest, I'm speechless after witnessing it. What about you?
High heels are the main reason for failure on girls, and in some cases, it happens at the most important moment. And yet, despite everything, she got up and continued the awkward fashion show. The model looked very graceful and agile, but the first impression can be deceptive. In order to get the right footage, reporters need to be as close to the scene as possible. As you can guess, it carries certain risks. Surely the journalists already know very well that they will not get out of the stadium dry after a baseball game. Do you agree that there is some kind of magic and mystery in the figures made of sand? It's good that the TV presenters came to their senses in time.
We also got a little ventilation. We also got a little toy I'd like to try to play with if you like. This is a Willy sphere.
Okay.
And this makes a perfect circle.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh, wow.
Look at that.
Where do you get all this
really
stuff?
These you can buy and those ones I make.
Huh.
No, you
How
know,
much is that?
the tool in your hand or
What did I just make there? Hold on.
Sphere.
Oh my
Go ahead.
gosh. I gotta get rid of that. I gotta get
This
rid of
is a
that.
child-friendly event.
maybe it's time to go.
We really should
We gotta
We'll
go.
make sure we get together.
She really needed to prepare for the broadcast properly. Otherwise, she would have known that this dress was not the best option for advertising a vacuum cleaner.
Aus der Wandhalterung und sofort können Sie loslegen mit Saugen. Schauen Sie mal, das ist richtig kraftvoll. Das ist ja das Tolle an diesen...
Such an unexpected and unwanted guest on the table of the TV presenters was immediately eliminated. Corey James put on Groot's gloves and went to experience the extreme slide Guardians of the Galaxy among the first visitors. While testing the attraction, He pleased the audience with his emotional reaction. When young children find themselves at work with their parents, such situations are often inevitable. He may have managed to appear on the evening news, but it cost him a few seconds of shame.
We've got a voter here from Arkansas as well, Lester, but what we want to
Women are incredibly patient. Can you imagine if this pin stuck in the back of her colleague? I don't think he would have smiled so sweetly.
A vozačima sa svog mokrih kolovoza savjetuje oprez za volanom.
When you studied one dance for so long and now you have someone to share your talent with.
Lanci, dobre vesti da pomenem ovoga jutra da tokom noći na putevima u Čačanskom kraju nije bilo saobraćajnih nezgod. Radovi na proširenju kompleksa naplatne stanice Preljina na autoputu Miloš Veliki. U zoni radova saobraćaj je usporen uz adekvatnu saobraćajnu signalizaciju.
Avenida Félix Maciel, que agora é a Avenida Cônego João Lima, o asfalto chegou. A duplicação vai ajudar o trânsito.
And how could she agree to this stupid idea? I think the girl deserves to receive an award from the management of the channel. There was no limit to the joy of the players of this team, so they shared it with the journalists in this way. The reporter had to try very hard and rehearse to fold the life jacket as intended. It happens that reporters have to deal with some bad issues. This girl just happened to be on the field in the wrong place at the wrong time. The Ukrainian TV presenter lost a tooth during the broadcast of the news. However, while being a true professional, she did not lose her mind and continued to work. American stand-up comedian Jeff Ross tried himself as a reporter. As you can see, he knows what questions to ask to make an audience laugh. The team mascot will do everything to make a show for the audience and cheer them up to support the team. This reporter decided to support his idea. Everyone has their days when everything falls off their hands. In some cases, it happens right during the filming of a report, and now she's going to have to buy 36 cans of Pepsi.
6. Did that just happen?
Well, this is what happens when you hire a person with no work experience. This girl chose her profession at the call of her heart. Just look at how she tries to preserve the reputation of the live broadcast. This journalist completely forgot that the green color of clothes in the news studio is taboo.
Yeah. Wait, is my shirt making those colors on TV?
Is that your shirt? Oh, look at
On
you.
TV, because it's all.
Oh, you're.
Oh, we're keying the dress.
Yeah.
Hollywood, Hollywood. Oh, okay. I love it. Little some party trick.
Hey, what's
Robin Thicke.
You got a little
blurred line?
It turns out that hand-to-hand combat classes for a journalist will never be superfluous.
It was so cool! It's hard to comprehend how this is even possible.
I think this cute girl in the background was thinking about how she would distinguish herself in a live report in order to stay in the memory of the audience for a long time, but this guy had a brilliant idea. It happens that you seem to have been working in the same field for many years, but every time you make new discoveries. These guys were shocked when they found out that the weather forecast monitor was actually a touchscreen. When you remember that you are in a live report, remember that you are absolutely not a public person. It's not surprising that it was difficult for the girl to restrain her cough while cannabis bushes were burned in the immediate vicinity. Shaquille O'Neal is adored not only for his achievements in the NBA, but also for being insanely charming. We must pay tribute to the journalist. She remained calm despite the players who really wanted to cheer her up. Men are like children, so there is nothing surprising about these shots. Most likely, his mother will see this broadcast and will be very upset that his son forgot to put on a hat. Each of us had a moment when our mobile phone started ringing loudly at the most inopportune moment. The guest of the studio apparently got very nervous when his mobile phone rang. This is an example of why you can't stand on the side of a highway. A negative person is prone to apathy and bad mood. Such people often attract failures into their lives themselves. This girl, who accidentally got into the frame, could have just turned around and left, but decided to be remembered by the audience for her appearance. There are questions to the team of this TV channel since the coherence of their work is definitely lame. It is worth noting that in this situation, none of the guys were confused, and moreover, not a single muscle on their face trembled. Is it curious? She could have thought that she would star in stories while falling on the floor while the girl chose a profession?
And we're moving on at the speed of light. All the most interesting things are still ahead.
No one wants to get wet because of automatic watering, but she would hardly like to be remembered by the viewers of the channel with such an expression on her face. On Jimmy Fallon's show, Kendall Jenner had to bite yellow Crocs, so now she knows what their stuff tastes like. The model got tangled in the hem of the dress and almost fell. However, it cost her the integrity of her outfit. It is assumed that journalists should be stress-resistant and calm, but not everyone can contain emotions when a large insect flies nearby. And these young people just decided that the audience needed to cheer up. The girl did not even suspect that a small show was going on behind her back during the report. It seemed to me that this situation was planned in advance to raise the ratings of the TV show. Have you noticed that the presenters of the weather forecast are mostly young, pretty girls in rather revealing clothes? Perhaps in this way, they want to somehow attract the viewer, because we can look at the weather forecast in our smartphone at any time. It is difficult for an inexperienced TV presenter to get used to the fact that there are so many cameras in the studio. Therefore, the process of adaptation to a new job looks very strange. The woman dreamed of getting into the studio to finally share her story with the audience. However, after what happened, she will be more careful with her desires. Everyone knows that some journalists can be arrogant and annoying. The main thing is to find a way to counteract them. No matter what a difficult day at work you have, the main thing is to have colleagues with a good sense of humor nearby. Camels are majestic and proud animals. If they don't like you, don't expect a pleasant ride. The most spectacular girls on the TV channel often turn out to be the weather forecast presenters. Perhaps one of the reasons is that the impression of a bad forecast can be smoothed out and the audience remains in a good mood. The TV presenter in the studio should not have turned her back to the camera because now hardly anyone is interested in the news that her colleague broadcasts from the scene. The dress code of the presenters is usually not too strict, but there may be some restrictions. After all, it is important that the audience's attention is focused on the news and information, and not just the clothes of the journalist.
Even though our episode is almost over, we would like to cheer you up and let you know that a new one will be released soon. Don't forget to click the bell so as to not miss it.